Welcome back, Buddha family. I have a short, quick tip on growing tomatoes for you. So, how do I grow my indeterminate tomatoes? Well, most of you are probably used to a tomato cage like this. But the problem is that once you stick it into the ground, and this is a large one, it's really only about 4 feet tall. And your tomatoes, unless they're a bush, which this will work fine, but most people grow indeterminate ones, are going to get much taller than this midway through the season, and then you're left to struggle with what to do. So I have adapted, and I no longer use tomato cages. Get rid of this. I prefer a trellising system. Now here I just use some pipe. You can get creative with 2x4s and wire, but it's pretty simple. And however you decide, it's the general premise, is you have a system that's about 6 or 7 feet tall, and then I take a string and I tie it to the supports and I hang them down just like you see here. Now let's get closer. So here we have a tomato, and you can see it's starting to bend over. It's even got some beautiful little tomatoes on it, but it's starting to bend over. It's going to need some support. So I got my string that I just tied up, and then I use these tomato clips, which are wonderful, wonderful little cheap things that save your life. And what happens is there's a little clip right here with some knobs, and that's going to go right over your string, just like this, and then you cinch it shut. And that's where your stem will be, but now you can see if I pull on this, it won't move. That locks the tomato into place. So how do you do it? Well, I'll just get my tomato, I'll pull my string down, and then I want to clip it right below a leaf. So here you can see I have a nice big leaf. So I'm going to put the part for the string. That's very important that you make sure it cinches right into that string. And then I'm going to close it just like that. And now our tomato is supported. And the reason I put it right below a leaf is that way there's nowhere for the tomato to slip if the wind is blowing strong, because this leaf will help support it. Now you can see the rest of this tomato is bent over. You're going to want to try to straighten this. Don't. It's probably grown like this for a little bit. If you try to straighten it, it's going to break. They'll always reach for the stars or the sun. So I got it clipped. Just leave this for a day or two. This will straighten up, and then I can put another clip up top. And as the tomato plant grows, you just put these every 12 or 18 inches and to really support the tomato plant. Let's come down to this one. One more. Here, I'll pick off all my suckers. And I usually grow mine to 2 growth points. You can get creative and do 3 or 4. I found that 2 is the best. So here's another growth point that I will leave. Once it's bigger, I'll hang a second string and attach that growth point, but it's still pretty small. So just to recap, I got my string. I'm going to pull it down, put the string section into the clip, and then I'm going to clip it right around a leaf. Now this one is somewhat straight still, so I can just gently wrap this, just like that. And as the tomato plant grows, I'll do a combination of wrapping and then clipping every 12 to 18 inches. And what I love about these things is that they're almost a safety proof, because some people will take a string and then you'll make yourself a little knot, you know, and then you'll try and tie it around the stalk. But what can happen is if the stalk gets too big, this can restrict it. That can kill the plant. If it's too tight and your life is busy, you might forget that you even did that to look until it's too late. So these clips, being plastic, just cinch over, and they're plenty wide for a tomato stem. They even have a bigger size up than this if you grow some mammoth varieties. So these are readily available on Amazon, super cheap, but it's a really cool way. And now your tomatoes will get to be 6, 7, 8 feet tall as your trellis system is. And that's almost double the height, so double the production of tomatoes than if you were to use a tomato cage that's 4 or 5 feet, then the thing just flops over. So this is super cool, super easy. I'm never going back. So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. And thanks for tuning in, and good luck growing your tomatoes this year. We'll see you around.